Yellowstone Supervolcano in Wyoming has earthquake swarms, and from what geologists are saying, it can trigger explosive eruptions. We know that the caldera has a lake on the lower southeast side of it, and that lake, even the small ripples over that lake can cause a quake to occur, because the roof of the magma chamber is only 3 miles below. Now, the next eruption at the apocalyptic Yellowstone volcano, a super eruption, will likely be triggered by a swarm of earthquakes similar to that currently rattling the region. Its last super eruption was about 640,000 years ago. Yellowstone blew its lid. It created the sunken crater around the size of 726,000 football fields, and now flurry seismic activities at this ticking time bomb, or as Dr. Michio Kaku says, a sleeping Godzilla under Yellowstone, in the site of the U.S. state of Wyoming, provoked fears of another apocalyptic eruption. Researchers at the University of Utah are monitoring with the UNAFCO slightly closely after it's struck by more than thousands of earthquakes last month. Quakes in the area are not rare. About 1.5 to 2,000 hitting the area every year, if not more. They seem to be more lately, but experts are stunned by the unusually large size and duration of the earthquake swarms. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support, and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below. Although risk is said to be low, a volcanology expert told Daily Star, and the next eruption would likely be preceded by such seismic activity, meaning swarms. Well, we saw it in the White Island volcano of New Zealand eruption. We also saw it recently at La Palma, and of course Kilauea. So yes, earthquake swarms do precede the eruptions. Now, if a massive eruption were to occur, a horrific veil of sulfuric acid spewing from the chasm would block out the sun. We're talking about a super eruption here, potentially sending temperatures plummeting to ice age levels with the volcanic winter. So such an eruption would be a devastating event that would coat the U.S. in 10 feet of molten ash for about 1,000 miles surrounding the park. And disaster experts say that as many as 90,000 people could die with the initial explosion. Dr. Simon Day, expert on volcanology, said that research suggests magma could be building in its depths. The fact that Yellowstone has not yet erupted for thousands of years has led to these suggestions, with some believing it's about to blow, he says. But scientists from the Institute of Risk and Disaster Reduction at University College London in the UK stressed that it is highly unlikely one seismic swarm could lead to an eruption. More likely, he said, it is a sequence of small eruptions that could do it. He said since it is such a large caldera, the magma reservoir system Yellowstone produces seismic swarms like this every few years, and some of them are much larger and longer lasting. Although the next eruption, he says, will likely be preceded by much seismic activity, it's statistically very unlikely that any one seismic swarm there will be developing into an eruption. He says it also is not necessarily the case that the next eruption at Yellowstone would automatically be a large or giant explosion eruption. There have been no such eruptions for some tens of thousands of years, which has led to the suggestion that accumulation of magma beneath Yellowstone makes it more likely that the next eruption will be explosive. He says, but the alternative scenario that a new sequence of small eruptions forming rhyolite domes and lavas may resume is also a possibility. So of the 1,300 quakes recorded by the University of Utah, one of the largest was 4.4 magnitude, with 60% magnitude 0 high or lower. Ben Davidson, founder of Natural Disaster Monitor Observatory Project, said, There is no increase in seismic activity compared to previous years in Yellowstone. 2 new monitors have been installed, he said, meaning researchers have been able to pick up 30% more of the small earthquakes. He said every year there is a geyser uptick and seismic uptick. This is a broken volcano releasing pressure instead of building up to a super eruption. When it goes quiet for a few years, that's when I'll worry, he says. Volcanologist Stefano Carlino of National Institute of Geophysics and Volcanology said it is hard to assess the magnitude of an eruption at Yellowstone. He said that research shows that only 2% of the deep magmatic system is melted, a crucial indicator of how close Yellowstone is to erupting. He says without new magma input and giving the present state of the caldera, the possibility of an eruption is extremely low in my opinion. As regard the magnitude of potential eruption is very hard to assess it, but in general the probability of smaller eruption occurrence is higher in respect to larger one. There are several supervolcanoes in the globe. We know we have about 21. Also we have over 91 volcanoes in the Antarctic. One of them, Mount Erebus, is currently erupting on the west coast of the Antarctic. So, several supervolcanoes across the globe, scientists fear could be on the brink of eruption. Researchers published the data showing that one of those volcanoes in Naples, Campi Flegrei in Italy, could be getting ready to erupt. Scientists found the volcano, which sits just miles from Mount Vesuvius, has reached a critical stage where further activity may lead to an eruption. This is by Joshua Nevitt, Daily Star, and Bennett Reality. Let's take a look at some of the movement and deformation in Yellowstone. Here we are at Geodesy, and I'll leave a link below for you for this map. It shows all the GPS stations in the world, and here we are on over Wyoming, as you can see, a lot of GPS stations here. Let's go to the, okay, there we go. Okay, so here we are, Yellowstone Park. Let's zoom in a little bit. Yellowstone National Park, Jackson, okay. And this is the area of the caldera, as we can see right here, and that's Yellowstone Lake. Let's go to the satellite image so we can see a little bit better. Okay, this is Yellowstone Lake, as you can see there, that body of water. And Hebgen Lake is somewhere up here. This is the border of Wyoming, as you can see. And somewhere here we have the beautiful lava flows of Idaho, as you can see here, the volcanic craters of the moon. Look at they're so pristine, you think that they were just flowed a few days ago. Here, 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 here. Isn't that something? Okay, so this is Yellowstone right here. Right here. This is the area of the supervolcano of Yellowstone. Let's take something, pan in a little bit, take something of around the lake. Okay, let's take this one here and see how the deformation is going there. Okay, this is the east-west. If it's going up, it's going east. And this is north-south. If it's going up, it's going north. So this is going down, meaning it's going west. It's moving southwest. And it's seasonal. It seemed to have been inflating in 2016. Okay, let's go to something on the other side. On the west side here, P801. Again, this is going southwest. And I guess here this is where they calibrated it, and it's deflating here. Okay, let's go somewhere around Hebgen Lake. Oh, let's take this one here. Okay, P709. Again, this is going southwest, and it's pretty steady. And now we'll go towards Hebgen Lake. Where's Hebgen Lake? Has it disappeared? It's a Z-shaped type of thing. Let's go. Where is it? Here it is. Okay, right here. Here it is, right here. Okay, Hebgen Lakes Estates. There's hotels all around there because people go there for the summer for fishing. Okay, let's go here. P458. Again, it's going southwest, and it's really inflating here. Seasonal, but you can see it's really inflating since 2008, 2020, and here we are. It's steadily inflating. Steadily inflating. Let's take this one here, P712. Southwest again, and inflating. So you can see that this thing here is inflating. Yellowstone is inflating, meaning that, of course, the surface is rising. Again, here it's inflating. Okay, so the deformation shows that Yellowstone is inflating. I'll leave links below for you for this. Thank you for your support, and please leave your comments. Thank you.